All right, today we're going to be talking about combining like terms. So when we have or when we have expressions, we're going to make them simpler, make them not as crazy to look at by combining terms that are alike. So when we're combining like terms, we look for all the terms with the same variable or all the terms that have no variable. So they're just plain old numbers. Okay. So if we look here at this first one, we have y plus y plus y plus y. So if you have one cookie plus another cookie plus another cookie, we would have 3 cookies. So 3y, because we have y, y, and y. And they're all being added together, so that means we're just adding one more. Okay, the next one we have r times m times m. So one thing we have to remember, and I wrote it up here, is remember when we're multiplying the same thing repeatedly, we have to use exponents. So here we have r and r being multiplied together. So it's the same thing as saying 3 times 3. If we had 3 times 3, we could simplify this and write it as 3 to the power of 2, because we have two number 3's being multiplied together. Well, here we have r being multiplied twice, so it's r to the power of 2. And then we're going to multiply it. The other variable that we have in here is m. So we're going to multiply it times m to the power of 2. Okay. So now we have a mixture on this next one. So we have r's right here. And I'm going to use different colors so you guys can see the different things that we have. And then we have x's right here. We don't have any numbers that are just plain numbers in here, so we just have those two variables. So when we're writing this, we have two r's that are being multiplied. So when we are multiplying, we're going to use exponents. So we're going to say r squared. And then there's a plus sign in between these, so I'm going to keep a plus sign in between. And then we have 2 x's plus one more x, so that's a total of 3 x's. So it's going to be r squared plus 3x. Okay. In the next one, we have our variable that we're looking at is k. So we have negative 6k here, and we have 7k here. So we have to think back to our how we add and subtract with negative numbers. So we have negative 6 plus positive 7. So I'm going to draw this out for us. So if we have 6 negatives, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're adding 7 positives, 4, 5, 6, 7. Remember, a positive and a negative cancel out. So we're left with just 1k left over. So 1k. If you only have 1k left over, it's the same thing as just saying k. Because if you just say the letter, then that means there's only one. So that's just like saying if I have one cookie, I don't say here's one cookie, I can say here's a cookie. Okay. All right. Looking at the next one here, we have ends. So I'm going to underline all the ends in this light blue. And then we do have some plain numbers or naked numbers, however you want to think about it. Okay. So we have plain number here and a plain number here. Be careful and make sure you think about the sign that's in front of those plain numbers too, okay? So if we're looking at just the ends, we have one n up here by itself, and then 9 n's back here, and they're being added because of this plus sign. So 1 plus 9 is 10 n's. And then with our plain numbers, we have minus 10, so keep this negative sign with it. So minus 10 and minus 3. So if I have minus 10, minus 3 more, that would mean I have minus 13. So all I did was combine those together. I want you to go ahead and pause and try the last 3 on your own and then come back and check your answers. All right, so now you can go ahead and check your answers for those last 3. So remember on the second one, when you're multiplying 2 together, it turns into exponents. And then when you're adding or subtracting, you don't use the exponents. You just leave them. You just do the adding and subtracting on its own. Go ahead and go to Schoology and do your assignment.